door and how the windows let the sun in. Copy out the key and tell her this is for we come.
She did not want to be on this camera. And she's just as beautiful as she is any normal day while she's tripping.
Thank you.
She is big and she is pregnant. Look at this big old belly. Big belly.
Yep.
And she's been stuck in here. How long have you been in here?
30 days.
30 days at the hospital. And when you are 30 days in the hospital, you are like, whew, I want to go home. But she is not, able to go home right now. She's going to have to stay in here until after she has this little kiddo. And I'm excited that little Journey, Mr. Journey here, he's going to be showing up soon. And next month.
Days.
And how many? 18?
22.
Oh, 22 days. Can't wait. That'll be the day that I probably come up here on that day and I'll spend the night with her to make sure that, I'm here when Journey is born. Okay, she's not going to fuss at me about that. I'm chewing this gum in here and it keeps sticking up. Gum gets sticky.
Yeah.
And it keeps sticking. But anyways, we were sitting here and we were talking about children, and Taylor is a mom to be. She hasn't had the baby yet. Oh, and look at my purple wristwatch. You get them when you come in. Of course, purple is royalty. Purple is my favorite color. I'm wearing purple earrings.
Yeah.
My purple shoes. Like, there it is. All that. And, we were sitting here and we were talking about babies and children and what they grew up on. And she was showing me, because we were talking about some things that the kids actually like, the little nursery rhyme songs.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of them were Meow Meow or something. I don't remember.
Yeah.
And they were really good. They were funny. And we was cracking up at the songs. And so she was telling me that, you got some Kleenex?
Napkins.
Napkins, okay. So anyways, as we were talking about the, I want to get it straight and I don't want it to, there we go. And I didn't want it, and we were talking about the babies. Hey, it looks like that little piece of hair, it looks like a piece of hair sticking up back there, doesn't it? It's not. That's actually something medical. But anyways, as we were sitting there and we were talking about the babies and how they, learn so quickly and how our nieces and our nephews learn very quickly. I said, well, I could tell you what, I was a young mother, very young mother. And it's funny because I said my kids didn't grow up on nursery rhymes, baby shark, doo, 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 and meow, 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 and all that. They didn't grow up on that. They kind of grew up to like, today was a good day, They did. They grew up on Tupac. They grew up on stuff like that. But we were young, you know what I'm saying? And it's different, for us than it is now for this newer generation. And I'm just glad, I was telling Taylor that my grandkids grew up on nursery rhymes and things like that as well, with my kids, taught them, those type of things. And they didn't. It was just funny. Yeah. But I thank God because you know what? We were talking about some of my little nephew and how smart he is. Mm-hmm. And he is very intelligent. She told me that he told her that he wanted to be either, let me get my hair out of your way, that he wanted to be either a
surgeon he said a wrestler or a surgeon. And my sister asked him, do you want to be a doctor? And he said, no, I want to be a surgeon. And so he is familiar with the fact that I'm having a C-section. And so he decided to look it up at 7 years old.
Right.
Look it up and actually watch the procedure so he could see how things are happening. And that just brought me back to the point of like just pouring into your children and your children's craft. Right. Spending time with them instead of, like you can be in the same house, but there's a difference between being in the same household and spending time. Right. And I understand like we have to provide as, mothers and fathers, but you also do have to spend the time, because when you do spend the time, it makes a difference in your child's behavior.
It really does.
Just even in how they present themselves, and just what they learn and what they go on to do as an adult.
Right, because I was watching, sorry, I'm switching arms, people. I was watching a story about a couple whose son went to the school and he did one of the mass shootings. I can't think of what city it is right now, but he did a mass shooting, and the parents were charged. They were charged. I don't know if you've seen that on the news or not. And the parents were charged with the crime as well as the son. And the reason why the parents were charged was because the son had a lot of, I believe from what I'm hearing on the stories, it sounds to me that he had a lot of mental issues, or bipolar, or some type of issue where he was, hearing voices and what do you call that? Schizophrenic or something. Mm-hmm. And he were hearing voices and stuff, and he went to the parents, and the dad laughed at him. And wait. It was the mom laughed at him, and eventually went and bought him a gun. I don't know why she would do that. She bought him a gun, which was the same gun that he used to go to the school and do the damages that he did there. And the dad told him to suck it up and gave him some pills. I don't know if they were medical pills or if they were prescribed pills. The storyline didn't tell me any of that, but I thought that it was a really, really sad thing. And that, like you said, comes from not spending time with your children, and not, like you said, we got to work. And I had to work, and my husband, we had to work, you know what I mean? But when you do have children in the house, you have to sit down and you have to teach them and help them learn their homework, you know what I mean? If you don't understand it, because the work is totally different than it was back in the day when I was young, it is totally different. If you don't understand, there are too many tutoring programs, there are way too many after school network programs.
Too many opportunities to pour into your child for your child not to be something.
Right. So we've got to watch what we're doing for our, with our children and for our children, because it's very important. And with her baby coming up to be another generation, it's going to be much more difficult than different. Not difficult for her, but for us, like we have to learn the new things. Just like in our generation, they were saying, "Oh, computers," and everybody was like, "Oh yeah, right."
These kids are on tablets.
Now every one of them is on tablets. Yep.
And then they wonder why their kids lack fine motor skills, and why the kids can't talk, or why they're delayed in speech, or why they're not potty training. And it's because
they stand on phones at the age of at 2 years old. A 2-year-old can show me how to use my phone better than I can,
but can't get on the toilet and use the bathroom.
But can't get on the toilet. Come on now, preach that. She's preaching right now.
Just pouring into your children, and for me, like just pouring into my child, especially because he will be the only one.
Right.
It gives me the time to focus in on him, and that's another thing. I feel like people who have multiple children don't have the time to pour into their children, because they just keep having more children instead of focusing on pouring into the kids that they have.
Makes me feel bad.
But I feel like it's a balance, though. You know what I'm saying?
It is a balance.
It's a healthy balance. If you know that this child isn't getting the fine motor skills down, or isn't using the bathroom properly, or isn't doing something like that, why go have another child? You know?
Well, I mean, you can, but some kids just move really slow. Like my boys, they potty train real fast.
The potty train was just an example.
No, I know what you mean. But yeah, like my boys potty train fast. They learn, some of my kids learn faster than others.
Right.
On their, what type of, it just depends, I really think. But, it's true, if you do have one kid, you're able to focus down on that. And with having several kids, it is hard.
Have several, you just have to have balance.
You do have to have a balance.
You can't just focus in on
one
or focus in on another one because they're younger than the other one, or because they're in a different point in life.
Right.
You have to try to understand each point.
Because I had kids where one would just get into all kind of stuff, I'd have to be at that school every other day. Me and my husband would take turns, literally going back and forth to the school, because he done did something, and we'd have to go back and forth. And each one of us had to me and him had to start taking turns. It was so often. And then the other one, I had other ones that were very smart. Not that he wasn't smart in school. The boy was smart.
Yeah.
He's still smart. He just did certain things that would get him.
Personality difference.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. If he just didn't hit it off with them teachers or what was going on. But finally, I ended up getting him in a class with Miss Pam Knott, and she was an amazing teacher. I don't know if she's teaching now, but we were all actually kind of really close personal friends as well. And she was a great teacher, and she taught him a lot. And that's kind of when he started to settle in and not act out like he used to. And that was really good. And then I had kids that were, and he was smart. All of them were smart. They all did good in school, but they all learned at their different levels. It's the same thing at home. They're all different. Their personalities were all different. They were all, some were this way, some were that way. It was just, you got to learn your child.
Balance.
Right. You've got to learn them, because if you don't learn who your child is, you won't know who your child is and how they're going to be.
Right. And don't try to mold your child into what you are.
Or what you want them to be.
Yep. You got to let them be who they want to be.
They got to be exactly who they are going to be. Whoever God already made a plan. God's already made a plan for each and every one of our lives. Yeah. And we are just living it out, day by day. You know what I mean?
No mistakes. Not one mistake. Even the things that feel bad in life or that hurt or that seem like a mistake are not a mistake.
Right. They're not. And it's just, something that we were sitting here talking about. And I thought it was very interesting. I thought this was a very interesting topic. And maybe we'll do part 2 after you have the little kiddo over here. Little Journey, rub Journey's belly. There he is. She's so little. And Journey sitting in there kicking. And boy, I'll tell you, he's going to be the wrestler. Tell Sir that Sir can be the surgeon and Journey can be the wrestler.
At this point.
Because Journey be kicking. Boy, my niece be sitting up there like, oh, shoot, he's got his knees in my ribs. He's kicking me. His buns are sticking up out my stomach. Look, Auntie. And he just be having all little lumps all over Taylor's little belly.
Yep, having
all over the place.
All inside, which is great because that means he's healthy.
He's healthy, very healthy, and I praise God for him, and I praise God for being able to come up and visit my niece.
Yes.
But we're gonna do a part 2 on this. I think it's a very healthy topic, and it's a really good topic. So you parents out there who have children, I would give you this advice, and I'll ask Taylor for a little bit of advice before we go. But I would give you this advice to know your children, learn your children, love your children, teach your children. Do not neglect your children. Don't allow your children to go out and do everything that they want to do and then come home and reward them. Because I don't reward bad behavior, period. Yeah. I refuse to. My children know this. My children, Taylor, I raised her. I had a hand in raising her too, though she's not mine. But I had a hand in raising her, and she turned out to be an awesome child.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. She's actually just kind of rebellious. No, just kidding. She's not.
Stubborn, but I'm being paid back for it.
No, she's not. No, she's not. She's a good kid. She always was a good kid. I mean, I always see my babies as good kids. Big Roddy said, them ain't no kids. Them is grown men. I said, but they're going to always be my babies.
Yeah.
They're going to always be my babies no matter what. I still see that little stinker, with the little fat little cheeks and fat little face. And
are fat again.
No, they're not. Will y'all please tell her how beautiful she is? She is absolutely beautiful. She's feeling like she's not. And the good thing is, even though she's stuck here in this hospital, she gets up and she does her little makeup and she does her hair. And she just, looks beautiful all the time, even without all of that. Just like right now, she looks beautiful. And I try to tell her that all the time. So y'all help me tell her how beautiful she is.
Thank you,
and everything. So I would just say all those things, I would close out by saying all those things, you know what I mean? And don't allow your kid to be your friend. Because when your kid turns into your friend, that's when you're going to have the issues. You always need to be the parent in every situation. You always need to be the parent in every. You need to parent I should say,
Yeah.
in your kid's life, because you can't be so busy trying not to hurt their feelings or trying not to, allow them to, just run right over you. You know what I mean? Because I've known parents like that. I see parents like that all the time, and it's awful. So what would you say?
Uh, I would say, as far as advice, I'll come back for part two once I have my baby. But reflecting on the friend thing, I definitely agree. I don't disagree. I feel like there has to be a fear of your parents, or
Right.
should I say, a respect for
Mm-hmm.
your parent. And then as you become an adult, there's a friendship that's intertwined in your relationship, but
Right.
that parent should always be a parent first
Should all
and a
yes.
friend next. And that's
Good.
once you become an adult and
Good.
you need to confide in that parent on an adult level and
Right.
for adult things,
Right.
and advice and, just basic life structure and essentials, but
Yeah.
I definitely feel like when your child is going through, being a child, a teen, a preteen, those are not the right times to incorporate a friendship into your relationship.
Right.
You have to, like you said, you have to parent first.
Right.
And then when they become an adult and they're leaning on you for adult advice,
Right.
then that's when you become that friend, that confidant to
Yeah.
your child.
Mm-hmm.
Because at that point, you've done all that you can do for
Yeah.
them. What your job is, I feel like, is to provide, being that confidant, being
Right.
that, of course, the mother and father, or
Right.
being
Right.
that friend,
Mm-hmm.
and the listening ear, and being an advisor. And that's kind of when that transition happens, but I
Right.
don't think it should be when a person is young,
Right.
because you need guidance,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like once you get guided to the point of adulthood, then you can take the
Right.
the advice from your
That's
parents.
exactly right. It's like our Father, in heaven.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? We're to fear Him, not with a fear of I'm afraid of God or I'm afraid that God will do this,
Respectful
but a
fear.
respectful, a reverence fear,
Mhm.
a reverential fear. I guess I hope I'm saying that right. But that's the way we need to do with our
Parents.
children and as parents. You know what I'm saying? I love my children, and they know I love them, and they know that I'm here to talk to you about anything. And a lot of times, some stuff they'll talk to you about, some stuff they won't.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be here to talk to you about anything. I got that shoulder and that, open ear to hear and talk to you about certain things, but I'm not going to allow you to just do and say anything that you want to say
Especially
and
as a
do.
young teenager.
Right.
You have no life wisdom.
You
know?
don't. And kids think that they know it all by the age of 2.
16.
I was going to say 2.
Yeah, that's the
They
truth.
think they know everything. But by the time they turn 16, that's it.
Yeah, and being pregnant has really shown me you really don't know. You
Right.
really don't know everything. I'll be 24 with a newborn baby, but I've never been through this before, and I've never leaned on my mom, my
Right.
auntie, my siblings who have kids. I've never leaned on my village so much. You would think that
Right.
I'm 16 doing this, or
Mhm.
a teenager doing this,
And
because
it's
you don't know everything.
Right.
Like, I've never done this before, and I have no clue.
no
And it
experience
just
in it.
reminds
Yeah.
you of how much, like,
We need each other.
yeah,
We need each other.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of things in life that I need my niece for that I don't understand, but she can help me to understand that.
yeah,
So I thank God for that.
yes.
So with that being said, I'm going to let you go. And I just got a phone call from my granddaughter, which I'm supposed to pick up like 15 minutes ago. So I'm about to go pick her up because Trinity is not going to have it, honey. She is not going to have it. So stick around for part 2. And we're going to do part 2 in maybe... You go home. When does baby go home?
Baby will be here until, well, right now projected to be here until June.
Okay.
I'll be here until like a couple days after Mother's Day.
Okay, so we'll either do... I'm thinking we'll do it after baby comes home. So we'll do it around about June, July. Give you a chance to get healed up, mend up, and get home and stuff. So with that being said, I love you guys. Don't forget to like, hit that channel, subscribe, because I'm going to need you to, because if you don't like, the algorithms are going to stay right where they at. I need them algorithms to move and roll around so that people can see it all over the world, all over, wherever, every ethnicity, every culture, every country. All right. Well, I love you with the love that Jesus Christ put in me, and I thank you for watching, and thank you for joining my channel again.